PEMF, also known as pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, has a long history of beneficial medical and scientific use, dating back into the 18th century. Emerging naturally in the world and being essential to sustain all life on Earth, PEMF has an extensive history of healing properties and is being researched, developed, and used daily. In 1774, Franz Anton Mesmer, a German doctor, discovered extraordinary results treating patients suffering from mental illness by making them swallow an iron liquid and passing two magnets around them, resulting in immediate symptom relief for several hours. PEMF was also explored by Nikola Tesla, as he discovered that cells respond positively to PEMF energy, and besides the widely recognized Tesla coil, invented a similar electromagnetic device in 1891, which he used on patients as a tool for immediate physical pain relief.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
NASA was amongst the first that researched PEMF technology and invested over $3.5 million in its research.
One of the groups that I consulted for was NASA at Johnson Space Center. They would be really interested in knowing if I could help them develop a system to use magnetic fields to try to grow stem cells in culture. Then I designed and developed electrical stimulators to actually drive the magnetic coils. The results basically were that if you had a narrow pulse, really significant effect on virtually everything we measured. Wow, okay, so nobody was more surprised than me.
NASA developed its own PEMF pads into spaceships, and PEMF technology became essential in mitigating bone loss and muscle degeneration.
So I said, wow, this is a really big deal. I don't believe it. I don't believe scientifically anything unless you can repeat it. So I went ahead and I redesigned and I recalibrated and I sent a new set of driver equipment to NASA with everything new. We reran the experiment and guess what? Got the same result.
In 1979, the FDA approved PEMF therapy for the healing of non-union fractures. 3 years later, they cleared low-powered PEMF devices called BGS, or bone growth stimulators, for human use. In 2004, the FDA approved the use of PEMF in cervical surgeries, and 2 years later for the treatment of depression and anxiety. And in 2011, approved PEMF therapy for the treatment of brain cancer. Just 1 year later, Novacure chairman and engineer Bill Doyle shared remarkable findings that the pulsating EMF had on soft tissue cells.
These are Robert's MRIs, again, under only TT field treatment. This is a therapy that takes time to work, okay? It's a medical device. It works when it's on. But what we can see is by month 6, the tumor has responded and it's begun to melt away. It's still there. By month 12, it's essentially completely gone.
And demonstrated tumor-treating fields as successful treatments for cancer patients.
It's now 5 years since Robert's diagnosis, and he's alive, but importantly, he's healthy and he's at work.
The use and development of PEMF technology dates centuries back and have strongly rooted itself in the scientific and medical community in the 20th century. But the options where we can utilize it now are endless, and the benefits of it even more so. Despite PEMF's lack of recognition around the world, this all-valuable technology only awaits what's to discover in the years to come.
On here to now the top 8 benefits of PEMF therapy. So PEMF therapy will, at the cellular level, it charges up the cells. So it's working very fundamentally. And it will help you to, as research has shown, to have stronger bones. It will help improve endorphins and of course, which works with pain relief. And it also directly works at breaking up cycles of pain. It helps you get better sleep. It'll help you to have more energy, better oxygenation and circulation, an improved immune system, relaxation and stress reduction, and nerve and tissue regeneration. And those are just a few of the many benefits that you'll get.
And I want to look specifically at microcirculation because microcirculation has the most research with PEMF and it really illustrates how well PMF works to open up all these networks. And it's working on three things. It actually works on all three aspects of your circulatory system, which is the vessels themselves. PMF therapy has been research proven to increase nitric oxide. Nitric oxide causes vasodilation. So it widens your blood vessels, so again, the blood can flow through. And a similar thing happens with the lymph. Number two is the red blood cells itself. So the red blood cells are flowing within the blood vessels. And what PMF therapy does is by increasing the cellular voltage potential, it actually dissipates what's called the Rouleau effect, meaning your blood cells will stack like coins and get clumpy and lumpy when the cellular voltage is low. And that actually inhibits the red blood cells from holding on to oxygen. And because they clump together, it makes it difficult for them to get through the capillaries, because red blood cells can only get through the capillaries one at a time. And the third thing it does is it lowers the viscosity of water. PEMF therapy, magnetic fields, have been proven to lower the surface tension of water, to make water wetter. And this is why I tell people, put your water on your pillow pad or a PMF therapy mat, because it will both energize the water and lower the surface tension. So think about it. When you open up the blood vessels, make the water more slippery or wetter, and help the red blood cells to all separate from one another so they can hold a maximum amount of oxygen, those three things together are just the perfect storm for opening up your circulation. And again, heart disease and stroke are the number 1 and number 5 killers in the US. This can be a lifesaver, and we have a lot of testimonials that are a result, in my opinion, of the enhanced microcirculation that results from using PMF therapy. In fact, look at some of these live blood. I don't have time to get into all of it, but we've had many doctors and practitioners do before and after with live blood. And a picture is worth 1,000 words here. You can see on each of these cases on the left, before IMRS or before PMF therapy, you can see the clumping of the cells. After, you can see them all they're rounder, they're more energetic. It just improves the flow of the blood and enhances the ability to hold on to oxygen.